What's up, guys? Nerf Gun Charlie here, and here is the Borg before and after update when it pertains to the Orb of Time Remaster mod I've been working on. First off, as always, you like these videos, you're wanting to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Want to hear from you, see what you like, what you're looking forward to seeing in the future. Trying to grow the channel beyond what I originally started it with, which was EAS scenarios. And I'm still going to do those in the future. I just want to focus first on this. Oh, lovely. So, probably going to get my butt handed to me here. But this is stock Borg. I'm just going to ignore this. This is nothing but turrets down here for defense. But this is stock Borg for the Orb of Time mod. What you would currently see. And you can see, like, disproportionate stations and pods. Everything is using its team color, basic generic textures. Nothing really stands out. And this one is the one that, from what I've seen, wasn't actually finished. It was just kind of thrown together. At least how it looks. And this could have been just, they oversimplified it, for all I know. Let's go ahead and get this repaired. There we go. And yes, I'm using a lot of turret defense as always. It's the easiest way to get this done. But I mean, this is the Borg. There's not a lot of frills to them. It is what it is. So there's very little change to them when it comes to the Orb of Time mod when you're playing stock, which is already out there. And it's just, what works for the AI is it's spamming a whole bunch of interceptors. Some of those interceptor Mark IIs, which are smaller, supposedly more powerful. So there's not a whole lot here, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not going to be able to go through the entire thing right now, but it's a lot more of the same. The big thing at the end is there's this massive research station that doubles being able to build their best vessels along with their heroes and some other things. So we're going to refine it down, simplify it, get some new units in here, get it a fresh coat of paint, as it were, just so that we can really make the Borg shine in their perfection. So y'all guys hang on tight, and I'll be right back. And folks, here is the new Borg. So the first change you're obviously going to see is there is a slight color change to the UI compared to what it was stock. I figured the Borg UI didn't need really a whole lot. I just wanted to make it a little bit greener, a little bit darker, more used. So that's merely the change here as far as the base UI. As you can see, the Borg is relentlessly attacking me. It looks like a couple of the probes there. So this is what they look like now. I still have not gotten rid of the team color and star bases. Anyway, as you can see, we've got tactical cubes, tactical interceptors, and tactical spheres. Go back down to my space here. The Demon Tooth is their mega turret. Similar to what we showed off with the Federation of the Defense Satellite, things of that nature. The Demon Tooth is their mega turret. And you're dealing with 2 pulse cannons. It's firing a torpedo just like the rest of them, but the added bonus is the Borg have the adaption beam. And what that is a really thin, fast-firing, low-damage beam. You'll see it here in a second. You saw that gold beam. And what that, it's just added damage. They only do about 5 to 7 damage per shot, but they fire once every second, whereas your average beam is firing once every 1.7 to 2 seconds. So it's rapid firing, and it's meant to simulate that with certain Borg vessels that fire this beam automatically, testing defenses for weakness kind of deal. So that's what it's kind of there for. But as you can see, we've updated the turrets. Here's our tactical spheres. And you'll notice with some of them that I've got here, instead of having beams, let's see here, I believe it is this one. Yep. You'll see that they have tractor beams instead of regular beams. I switched it up a little bit there so that you're going to have a look at their tractor beams and targets instead of it just being standard energy weapons. So it's kind of a mix-up there. Played around with it, modulation, you have your auto-assimilator still, modified heavy ultradium beams. Not only do they do damage in multiplayer, they will temporarily disable your weapon systems of your enemies. That's where I had a little bit of fun there. Warp field destabilizer pulses. It's basically the repulsion field weapon for the Klingons. However, instead of it having a wave texture, it's a pulse texture. And instead of pushing the target back, when it comes to the Borg, they don't want the target to run. So the value is set to 0, so that when it gets hit, the vessel is instantly stopped. Instead of it drifting off because it's gotten hit, it's stuck in its spot for several seconds, making it easier for the Borg to converge. Looks like the only thing I need to fix is the TAC cube. It doesn't have its special weapons assigned to it, but I can fix that. That's about the only bug so far that I am seeing here. I didn't really do anything like what I did for the other 3 races when it comes to the build buttons. I didn't color coordinate them because the Borg wouldn't do that. They know what they're doing for perfection. So, as you'll note, slight variations in the buttons for the build buttons, slight variation when it comes, and it's ever so slight, when it comes to the research buttons, but it's more uniform across the board. Whether it's research, whether it is your orders, which, there you go, just looks more like a Borg UI. And I took these buttons from what I've done for a personal mod, so this is going to be your big bad when it comes to your final vessel that equals the premonition for the Federation or the Kvek for the Klingons. This thing is rather nuts, especially when I get its special weapons in here. We're going to have it have an Omega Reflector, basically a Corbomite Reflector that in lore is enhanced with Omega Particles, and there's one other weapon we're going to have in here. And then we have 2 heroes. Come on, go ahead and build. I need to lower the build cost for this. So let's just move over here. We have the Borg Queen, and we have Locutus's Cube. So they do have their 2 heroes in their hero yard. All in all, it's come together rather nicely. The AI is as aggressive as I want it to be. The only thing that I might nitpick is ship sizes a little bit, but I'm fairly happy with where they're at right now. It's literally the only thing that bugs me is 2 of the stations still have the team color, and it's the mining and it's the starbase. Everything else is pretty good. So this is where we're at with the Borg. Right now, as I'm recording this, I've just finished this. Just now, I just plugged in the Demon Tooth, the TAC Sphere, the TAC Cube. Oh, and I forgot about 2 of the things with the Borg. My apologies. They do end up with a transwarp gate. It is their super station, if you will. And it's just a rough copy of what you see in single player. But their big bad battle station to equal out with Deep Space Nine is a Unimatrix. An actual Unimatrix. This thing is armed with multiple weapons. It can build starships. This was, in one of my private mods, this was your starting base that I had. So, this is going to be able, if you can build this up in time, remotely, it can hold its own. It is a lot stronger weapons-wise than your standard starbase. So I've added all 3 of these, plus 2 starships. And like I said, the only thing I'm missing is the special weapons from this, but as you'll see, it is weapons. So, like I said, there's stuff that's missing on here, and I can easily fix that. Right now, oh, we don't need it. But that's the Borg. It's some very, very minor fixes that I've got to do, and then they are ready for play. So by the time you're probably seeing this, I've already started sectioning off what I need to do to make single-player campaign entirely separate of this. The single-player campaign is going to use all the original stuff that's in there. We're not doing any changes to that, other than updating the starship models and their textures and the weapon textures, and making sure that their buttons for their GUI, their special weapons, and all that match what they look like in multiplayer. So they'll have the same button style, but they'll be using stock ODFs for their reference material. So you're not going to see any changes when it comes to Orb of Time Remaster in the campaign. And while we're working on that, 2 buddies of mine in Discord, Star Fox and Chili Trek, gave me a great idea, because I have been racking my brain about what I want to do for wireframes, because all the ones I have are made for more custom UI setups that we've done on other mods, like Future Tense. They said I could just cheat the system, and I am, so just fair warning, this is a very simple way of doing it, but I've got to do quite a bit of them. We're just going to take a photo of them. We're just going to take maybe a 3/4 view photo of them. Use the photo as the wireframe, but we're not going to split the wireframe up into 5 different sections. We're simply going to let the actual icons here do the work. This will only flash if life support goes down. So literally, this is only going to be a picture that references one system. And you'll see this correspond with it. Anything else would just blink here. It's going to be really dirty simple, but it also saves me on file size. So I can just do one 64 by 64 screenshot per ship using their old, style of breaking those down. I can put 5 to 10 on a single sheet. And if I'm using some of the newer ones that I've done with how large those are, I can do even more. So it's going to be really good on file size saving. So we're going to do those concurrently. We're going to be working on the campaign, and we're going to be working on the wireframes, so that hopefully by the time the campaign is done and you've seen a couple of the missions in a remastered mode, we'll also have wireframes for all the ships, and that includes the Romulans, who are not in multiplayer, the Ferengi, the Sona, things of that nature. We've got to make sure all of that looks good. We don't miss anything. But we're on a good path. We're on a very good path. I do apologize for the lateness of the video. Basically, I got knocked out of commission for a few weeks. My family was sick. I got sick. You got to do what you got to do for your family. So I really fell behind here, but we're going to try and crash course this, get this done right, get this done quickly, and get this out to you guys to play. And then I can finally start hyping up my next project, because I'm already excited about my next project. That's all the time I've got. If you've liked what you've seen, like I said earlier in the video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help grow the channel so we can do this more often, because I'm really enjoying this. And until next time, y'all stay safe out there.